Hi, in this video I'm going to show you why we should be using more and more Ramda utility functions without worrying about how small they are. For example, you can see that in this file I'm already using a small Ramda utility tools like r.replace, r.test, r.split. Can we live without using these kind of utility tools? Of course we can. And here you can see this file is still work in progress. Here I could be using r.equals, but I'm leaving it as it is. And it seems it's harmless, but actually it is not. And that's exactly this video is about. So let's jump into the meat of the presentation. So I'm going to go to this function called getAttributesSelector. I'll give you a second so that you can take a look at the function. The main thing is not what this function does. The main thing is look at the structure of this function. It accepts an argument called element, and immediately after at the end of r.pipe, it invokes that element. So if you have not been using Ramda, then first thing is that you should be using Ramda. And if you want to get started with Ramda, then before using Ramda, you should read up on thinking in Ramda, a bunch of articles written by the author of Ramda. Pertinent to this video is this article about point freestyle. I'm not going to discuss what exactly the point freestyle is, but in short, I will say that basically this talks about how to make functions argument free. And the point in this case means like argument. So in this case, what we can do is we can delete element, and then we can go at the bottom here and we can delete element. And materially, this should have no impact in the code, and our test should pass. I'm not going to run the test because the test will never finish. It runs into a memory issue. So now the question is why it is running into memory issue. So I posted this question in the Ramda support channel, and it's a glitter channel, and over there I got help from Brad. So shout out to Brad for helping me out here. So what he noticed is that in this function whitelist attribute, I'm getting an accumulator, and then what I'm doing is that I'm pushing to the accumulator, which is not bad in itself, except that I'm mutating accumulator. I'm not returning a new instance of accumulator. And in the functional programming world, we should not be mutating the data. So what happens is that before we did the point freestyle, the accumulator worked fine, but in the case of point free, it keeps repeating the same functions. And in the process, the function is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And hence, it was running out of memory. So the fix is very simple. Ramda has a utility called r.append. And here, all we need to do is, rather than using, so if you want to push to accumulator, we need to do, we can write like this. And what will happen is that it does the same thing, except that r.append returns a new accumulator. So let's look at the r.append documentation. It returns a new list containing the contents, not the same list. And now if I run the test will pass. So what's the main point here? The main point is that don't ignore Ramda just because, hey, this is such a small thing. I can do the equal myself. For example, here I should be using r.equal because Ramda does the right thing. Here, the code difference between this and this is very similar, but it cost me hours of debugging, and even then I was not able to solve the problem. So use more and more Ramda, and that will help you. Thank you very much.